Exposure to chemicals is the single biggest contributor to early fatality in the human population, and often, of course, it devastates the natural world as well. But there's some hope because there are new methods of risk assessment coming through. One advantage of the developments in chemical risk assessment is that it doesn't rely on animal testing. So we're rejecting what is the science of the mid-20th century and we're replacing it with 21st century equivalents that do not rely on testing of animals.
PrecisionTox itself is looking at ultimately to reduce animal testing, to refine animal testing, but also in the long term to replace animal testing. But to do that, we need to understand what are the barriers to the uptake of novel, modern science and technology that is more human relevant. So the research that we've been doing has been trying to uncover what those barriers are. And what we've come to find is that the issues at stake in the regulatory acceptance of alternative methods are not just scientific, but they're also technical in forms of law, and they're very social as well. There's lots of social aspects to the barriers. The research that we've done has also started to look at solutions as well. How can we overcome those barriers? So we've been taking a lot of stakeholder engagement across industry, regulators, policymakers and NGOs to try and understand where there is a level of consensus so that we can make policy suggestions and therefore how we can better overcome the barriers that seem to be delaying the reduction in the animal use.
One of the things that we have been very happy about is that we have been perceived as an honest broker who actually did some really valuable work. And I'll give one example. We have produced a really significant piece of work which is looking at the barriers to the uptake of NAMs. We have worked with all the stakeholders, industry, NGO, policymakers, regulators. And we have produced this really important policy piece that came out of that research, which has been disseminated quite widely. And that helped us to build the trust with the stakeholders. And then from that point, it was really easy then to interact with all the important key players, both in the EU and in the UK.
In the remaining part of the PrecisionTox programme, we still have work to do, taking some of the scientific work and looking at its regulatory application. But after PrecisionTox ends, the agenda won't be finished. We'll still be testing by reference to animals. So we'll continue to pursue this agenda until we get to the last of those 3 Rs. We refine, we reduce, but eventually we replace.